What up, Puff Cakes? It's your daddy, the Dean of Rules, and this is your Week 9 recap.
Puff Cakes Fantasy Football Recap.
For the third week in a row, we have a new number one team.
I'm the king of the world!
Daddy Shark put up the third highest points to defeat Oh Yeah 129 to 124 and claim the number one spot. Just before the Thursday night kickoff, Daddy Shark slid Carson Wentz into a starting QB spot, and boy did it pay off. Wentz put up 33 points while Kyler Murray sat out Sunday's game. Everyone else on my bench was on a bye or hurt, so my perfect lineup got the job done. With all the big passing stars out, the Cardinals went heavy on the run game, and Chase Edmonds got hurt, and it was all James Conner. He put up the highest individual points for the week with 40.3. Daddy Shark currently sits atop the leaderboard with 7 wins, while Kid falls one spot to second place at 6-3. Our third place team, 1-12, faced off against the Puff Cakes Fantasy Football team, and in Robert's own words, his team decided to take the week off in this 99-70 beatdown. Robert was the victim of bad starts as Chase Edmonds got hurt early, and he had the 28-point New England defense and the 20-point George Kittle on his bench. A perfect roster would have given him the win. But you're not going to get it done making moves like those, Bert. And with the low score of the week, you've earned yourself a Sosa Award. The loss drops Bert to 5th place, and both teams currently sit at 6-3. Another 6-3 team, Child Please, faced off against our current Dungeon Master, Wuhan Wild Wings. Edgar cruised to an easy 124-93 victory to hand James his 8th consecutive loss. Is that? Can you hear that? This feels kind of familiar, huh, James? Yeah, buddy. The commish had a big game from Jonathan Taylor for 34 points on Thursday night and never looked back. He didn't need much else from the rest of his team to get the W. James continues to hold out hope that Deshaun Watson is going to play this year and has held him on his bench for 5 weeks without scoring a single point. James, I suggest you go back to letting Pammy manage your team. She was doing a much better job. Our closest matchup of the week came when Warner Before You Falker was feeling generous and gave it up to Just Win Maybe in this 108-105 loss. Evan was trailing by nearly 30 points going into Monday night game when Pittsburgh tight end was Big Ben's favorite target and helped propel Evan to his second win of the season. Fred better hope Evan doesn't have the cousin's curse because the only other team Evan has beat this year is Wuhan Wild Wings. And y'all remember how that went. Fred's still in the playoff hunt for now, currently in 6th place at 6-3. Evan moves out of the basement and into the 10th spot at 2-7. Papa Chubby had big games from Baltimore Connection, Lamar Jackson, and Marquise Brown for a combined 60 points to hand Don't Touch My Chubb the L this week. 25 points from Dak and 30 points from Chubb weren't enough to get flipped to W. The 132-112 matchup leaves both managers at 5-4 and still in the playoff hunt. Kurt gets his 3rd straight win and sits in 8th place, while the loss puts Flip in 7th. In our biggest blowout of the week, CD's Nuts had a big game from Justin Herbert with 40 points and the Miami defense with 23 points to absolutely destroy Chato 147-78. The difference between the two scores, 68 points, was nearly as many points as Chato scored in this matchup. Embarrassing. A beatdown this bad deserves its recognition, and for that, Chato, you earned yourself another Bad Beat of the Week award.
See, now that's some bullshit.
CD's Nuts improves to 4-5 in 9th place with the victory, while Chato doesn't want James to feel lonely, so he continues to ride with him in the 1-win club on the season. James, come on, bud. Again? Really? Thanks all for tuning in this week, and I'll see you next Tuesday.
Puff Cakes Fantasy Football Recap.